to kill me." The statement was said so calmly, but so definitively, that everyone in the room froze and stared at her. "What?" the general asked.
"You're trying to kill me,"
she accused again. The general blinked, shocked. "Of course we're not. Miss MacKilligan."
"You want me dead. You're working for the other side."
"What other side? What are you talking about? No one is trying to kill you. We're trying to help you." Her face red, fingers curled into tight little fists, her entire body one taut line of tense muscles. The little viper screeched,
"You're trying to kill me!"
Her voice was so loud, the general actually felt she'd made the lab windows shake. But he was sure that was simply his imagination run amok under such strange circumstances. "No one is trying to kill you," he yelled over the child's screams. "We built this entire base for you, so calm down and take your medicine." The nurse stood beside him now, and with a sigh, she called for 2 orderlies. The man came in and went to the girl, attempting to grab her arms and hold her still. But the fight the general hadn't seen when they'd first brought her in, he saw it now. Like a whirling dervish of panic, the child swung her arms and legs, spinning away from the men, screaming wildly before she took off running. "Grab her," the nurse ordered, while the orderlies chased the child around the large lab. But every time they got close to her, she'd duck under their legs, jump over their grasping hands, or throw something at them so she could make her mad escape. Rolling his eyes, the general nodded at one of his men. That soldier closed the door, cutting off the child's exit route. The general motioned to 2 others. With precise movements, those soldiers went for the girl, one sweeping the child up into his arms and holding her with her back against his chest. "If you will," the general said to the nurse. She placed the tray down on a lab table and uncapped the syringe. She moved toward the child. Struggling and screaming, the girl tried her best to fight off the man holding her body, while another soldier held her arm out. But these trained men held her easily without harming her. Grateful this disaster was almost over, the general exhaled and let his gaze roam the room. That's when a metal grate in the ceiling was kicked away by a sneakered foot, slamming into an orderly's head and dropping him to the ground with a serious head wound. The Asian half-sister of the prodigy jumped from the duct and down to the floor. The older sister followed. When her feet hit the ground, she grabbed the second orderly and tossed him across the room with amazing ease, while the other girl charged the soldier holding her sister. As she moved toward him, she suddenly brought up one foot, placing it against the lab drawers. She pushed off toward the other lab station, slammed her other foot against the granite, and launched herself toward the soldier. She wrapped her entire body around his head, but the soldier continued to hold on to his captive. The second soldier went for the oldest sister, but she grabbed his outstretched arm and swung him into the lab table. Then she grabbed him by the back of his neck, pinning him face down to the table. She raised her leg and slammed it down on the back of the soldier's calf, breaking his knee. His scream echoed out across the room. The general sighed in aggravation. He would deserve a medal after this assignment was over, because this was goddamn ridiculous. The soldier at the front of the room yanked the door open and yelled out, "I need help in here," to the ones who stood guard in the hallway. They rushed in. They had their firearms pulled, but that stopped as soon as they entered and immediately lowered their weapons. The general didn't know why until he felt the cold barrel of a gun pressed against his temple. "Let my sister go," the eldest calmly stated, loud enough for them to hear, but without the panic of her baby sister. "Or I'll blow the motherfucker's brains out." It was a sad day when trained military couldn't handle 3 little girls, the eldest not even 18 yet. With the middle sister still wrapped around his head, the soldier released the little girl. Stevie MacKilligan stepped away from him, brushing blonde hair off her face and out of her eyes. When she was done, she focused on the nurse, who was still holding the syringe.
"You were so ready to give that to me," she said.
"It's just something to..."